Hey everyone, so a lot of you wanted to see a comparison video between Sony's two latest phones, the Xperia X Compact and the Xperia XZ. So we're getting right to it, powering both these on at the same time. Both phones, all the updates applied on the latest version of Marshmallow. Now, if the Xperia X Compact this year, it's more of a mid-ranger. In years past, it's always been high-end flagship device. This year, Sony going for Snapdragon 650 for that. Compared to the Xperia XZ Snapdragon 820, both do share the same amount of RAM at 3 gigabytes. So see how that Snapdragon difference plays into this. And surprising first result here. So you see the X Compact first on the vote up. And I will say that the XZ so far has been doing excellent. Been winning in a lot of categories against every phone I put it up against so far. Still have to put it up against the iPhone 7 and a few others, but for the most part, it's really done an outstanding job. Alright, so we're going to look at some apps. Temp Run 2 first. Alright, so it looks like the Xperia XZ is going to win this first test by a little bit, but not by much. Alright, so next up we're going to look at CNN. That looked like virtually identical to me. iFunny. Xperia XZ here, clearly. YouTube. Xperia XZ, last one to load up that image at the bottom. Next up, calculator. About the same. Clock. Again, I think that was about the same. eBay. Oops. I was wondering why it looks so different. Let me redo that. Alright, next up, eBay. Alright, so again, XZ here. So you notice the trend, guys, XZ winning most of these. Asphalt 8 next. And after this, I'm going to be covering a lot. I'm covering multitasking, looking at... I'm not going to cover the fingerprint scanners test. I'll show you the one on the X Performance, but so far I haven't used it for either of these phones. But we'll look at camera speed, Antutu, and a few other things. Alright, so again, XZ here. A few more before we move on to some more tests. So photos. Alright, so that one goes to the X Compact. ESPN. XZ here. Settings. Took my eye off it. I think it may have been the X Compact, but I took my eye off the XZ. Alright, so obviously for the most part, the XZ won for most of the tests, although the X Compact did win a few. Let's go to the Antutu Benchmark that I ran. So guys, this really comes into play if you're going to be playing high-end games. You see a score of 76,000 on the Xperia X Compact. So what we just saw, that was mostly more in terms of, you know, daily app opening, things like that. But this is more for high-end games. So a score of 144,640, obviously a huge difference, nearly twice as much on the Xperia XZ. So keep that in mind. If you're more into the games, the Snapdragon 820 going to do a lot more for you than the 650, of course. But in terms of actual day-to-day usage, not that much of a difference. We'll do the camera next. And it's going to snap a few pictures. So again, both these have 23 megapixel rear-facing camera. Alright, so as you can tell, the XZ a little faster. Sometimes it ties, but for the most part, Yeah, for the most part, XZ winning most of it, although a lot are tied as well. Alright, so for the fingerprint scanner, let me just grab the XZ, and I'll show you how it works on it. So it's the same fingerprint scanner on all these phones. If you get the American version, you need to get the UK firmware on there if you want to actually use it. So this is the X Performance. Just gotta put in my pin first. Alright, X Performance. So tonight it's not doing great, but it's still eventually getting just a little slow tonight, though other times it's faster. So personally, I think that the fingerprint scanner on here is average. It's definitely a step up from the Z5 series, although it could be better. Alright, so let's look at web browsing, and then we'll do go into the multitasking stuff. So just going to go to a few sites. Let's go to Yahoo. So XZ here. Let's do CNN. Let's do these sites because there's debate tonight, so kind of interested in seeing what analysts have to say about it. And this one is going to go to the X Compact. Let's do a couple more. IGN. And this one looks like XZ. Alright, we'll do one more that I haven't been to. You know what? Since this election, I'll just go to both of the candidate websites. I'll just go to HillaryClinton.com, or hope it's just Clinton.com. Let me see. Just too easy to type out the whole thing. No, this will lead to something at least. Not sure if it's her campaign site. Alright, it's Clinton.com. So again, these are sites that I have not been to. Did I type that? Alright, I must have typed it wrong. Alright, I'll just do one more. Don't want to spend too much time on this. I'll do Trump.com. And then last, we'll just look at multitasking. I have a feeling this isn't his campaign site, but whatever, we'll see. It'll go somewhere. Alright, so that was the Xperia XZ. So yeah guys, overall, obviously I think the Xperia XZ did a bit better than the X Compact. Now let's look at multitasking. Bring up Antutu. About the same, very fast. Chrome we just opened, again about the same. Let's go to Asphalt 8. Interesting, so that was a little faster on the X Compact. And we'll do one more camera, and then I'm going to discuss some of the some more of the specs and if I think the phone's worth buying or not. Alright, so that looked about the same to me. Alright guys, so going over more of the specs. Screen size 4.6 inches versus 5.2 on the XZ. You're getting a 720p screen on the Xperia X Compact, 1080p on the Xperia XZ. Personally, I feel like the XZ screen is better. Let me just put the brightness on the X Compact. Actually, it is at max brightness, as you can see. But yeah, I do feel that the XZ screen is better. Not just in terms of size, but just in terms of the overall quality. In terms of front-facing camera, so 5 versus 13, both the same 23 megapixel rear-facing camera. In terms of storage, 32 gigabytes on the X Compact. You can get either 32 or 64 on the XZ. Both have micro SD card support. Battery 2700 on the X Compact versus 2900 on the Xperia XZ. I don't think it's much of a difference in battery life because you do need the extra battery size because you have a bigger screen on the XZ. I found that the battery on both phones seems pretty solid so far. Mentioned the processor, Snapdragon 820 versus 650, both 3 GB of RAM, both have stereo speakers. Now the XZ is waterproof, the Xperia X Compact is not, something I really don't like about the phone. Both of course have fingerprint scanners, both do have micro, or rather they have USB Type-C at the bottom. And another big difference is price. So with the X Compact, you're going to be paying around $400, $450 to around $500. With the XZ, you're going to be paying around $650 to around $700. And last is going to be the build quality on these phones. So build quality on the XZ much better. Let me just shine this up. So you do have an all metal build to it. Really beautiful design, one of my favorite. Actually probably my favorite of all the Xperia phones. Do like the Z5 Premium as well, but I think that this is even better. Really smooth around the edges. So you guys, love the design on this. Very high quality. When you're touching it, you'll definitely notice. Now with the Xperia X Compact, a little bit disappointed with the design on here. It is all plastic. So not sure how easy it is for you guys to see, but feels much more cheaply made than the XZ. So yeah guys, my first week impression of these two phones. The XZ so far has impressed me. The X Compact somewhat impressed me. I don't think it's really worth $500. If you can get it for $450 maybe, if you can get it for less than that, then I think that you're starting to look at a solid deal. Although the Z5 Compact, I think it's even cheaper than the X Compact at this point. So the Z5 Compact may be a better phone, just because you are getting better build quality, you're getting waterproofing. Of course, there are advantages of the X Compact over the Z5 Compact, but it's not a clear winner. Like with the XZ compared to the Z5, for example, there is a clear winner. The XZ is clearly better than the Z5. Oh yeah, and also one other thing, Sony XZ, you can record in 4K video. You can't do it on the X Compact. So yeah, guys, overall, I think that I'd say that so far the XZ is worth the money. If you can get it for $650, I think that it's worth it. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more content like this in the future, and let me know in the comment section what video you want to see next.